Hello guys and welcome to Painting Panzers. My name's Christian and today we're going to be taking a look at yet another 172 figure. Today we've got another Italeri figure on the channel. You can tell that I'm a big fan of these Italeri figures. This is an 8th Army figure. Now I say Italeri, it was actually produced by esci and then eventually Italeri took it over. But yeah, it's a lovely figure set. And I'm absolutely stoked to be able to get this one on the channel for you guys. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this tutorial. Now, as I've mentioned, these are the old esci 8th Army infantry. So you can see you've got a mixture of rifles and Brens, and you've even got a lad playing a bagpipe there, which is really cool. So it's a lovely little set if you can get your hands on the new Italeri box set. Now, if you do get your hands on the box and you want to paint yourself some of these 8th Army figures, I start off by giving it a primer, to me surface primer light grey, and then I paint the uniform in old wood. Now, some of you might be aware that old wood has changed slightly from the new Vallejo offerings, but the colour pretty much has stayed exactly the same. And then also paint the helmet in that same colour as well. So it's the uniform and the helmet. Now for the webbing, I'm going to go ahead and paint that khaki. So you can see that we're mixing the colours that look, or the shades of colours that look very similar. And obviously you can change it slightly if you want to. Obviously with sun damage and fading and stuff, some of the webbing and uniform would obviously be a little bit duller. So you could do that if you wanted to, but I think for 172 scale we want to try and make them a little bit brighter. Now for the socks, you can go ahead and paint those in US olive drab if you're copying my method. Now the correct method isn't to do this, it's just to paint the bottom half of the covers for the boots, like to stop sand getting in the boots. The socks can be painted in the same colour as the uniform, but I got that incorrect for this model, so don't make the same mistake as I did. If for any wooden items, paint them in flat earth. That's my normal wood recipe. It's my go-to. I just think what I've got for wood works really well for me, so I do apologise if you're looking for something new if you've been watching all my videos, but it just works so well. Now black grey is what I'm going for with the metal, so just like the wood, the metal recipe remains identical to all of my other videos. So again, I can only apologize to those of you that might be hoping for something a little bit different, but if you do want to see something different, let me know of any sort of ideas you may have. And also paint his boots in that color too. Now for his water bottle, I'm going to be painting that in English uniform. So there's just 4 little squares that you should be able to see, so just give them a little dab of paint, and if you make a little bit of a mistake and go over some of that webbing, that's okay, the wash will probably hide that anyway. And then for the bayonet sheath, I'm going to be painting that in German camo, black, brown. I don't show how I highlight this, but all I did was add a bit of orange brown to the mixture. So now we want to give our model a wash of Nor Oil and Lafmeal Medium from Citadel. So it's a Games Workshop or Warhammer wash set, and I thinned it down at a 1:1 ratio. That's what that Lafmeal medium or technical medium is. It's a thinner, so I'll thin the wash down to a 1:1 ratio, and then I'm going to let it sit for about an hour or two. Once it's dry, you'll get a model looking like this, and then you can go over the uniform in old wood and Iraqi sand at a 1:1 ratio. And this is the only layer we're going to be putting down, so it's just what we're going to be using to brighten up that uniform and give it more of that desert look to it. And as you can see, it really does brighten it up, but it's not too unrealistic. It looks really nice actually. I do like that mixture. Now for the socks, I'm going to be using US olive drab and German camo beige at a 1:1 ratio. So it's going to give you a nice faded US olive drab colour. As I said, you only have to paint this section of the socks or the covers for the boots. The rest of the sock can be painted in that old wood Iraqi sand combination. I'm just dry brushing that. So I'm doing it all wrong, but yeah, you get the idea. Just dry brush with that old wood Iraqi sand. So for the webbing, I'm going to be using khaki and stone grey at a 1:1 ratio for that one, and you can see straight away just on that little strap going along that backpack It's a really nice bright colour, and it's going to add a lot of definition to those parts of the webbing. So I'm just moving on to the strap now. You can see I'm just painting a few little lines on the strap, a few little lines on buckles, giving those bren pouches just some little details that are already sculpted into the model, and yeah, just making them really pop. Now for the water bottle, I'm going to be using English uniform and German camo beige World War II at a 1:1 ratio, and I'm just adding in, as you can see, just a few little lines inside of each of those squares. Now for the cap of the water bottle, I'm going to be using Iraqi sand, and I'm just painting a line on the top of the cap and a line on the bottom of the cap. Now for the wood, I'm going to be going flat earth and orange brown at a 1:1 ratio, and I'm just going to be adding in some nice little lines there, some horizontal lines. You can see I'm just scratching them in. There's really no precise method to it, but it works. It really does work. It looks so good. And also the handle on the bayonet, I'm just going to give that a little bit of this color as well. And then I'm going to go over the wood again, but with orange brown, repeating the same process, but just doing a few less lines. And you can see I'm just scratching in. You can see there's very little control. I'm just scratching it in nicely, and then I will hit the bayonet with just a 3 little dots, just to show you just little grooves for the handle of that bayonet. And then the same principle goes with the metal. So we're using black grey and basalt grey at a 1:1 ratio, and you can see that I'm just adding in some nice fine little details, and just really taking my time just to get that metallic look to pop, but without adding any silver or any color similar to that. And then we can take it one step further, and we can add some basalt grey to the mixture for our final highlight. And this is literally just adding in a little line on each of those grooves on the magazine, little line on the bolt mechanism, the iron sight there, and then there's a little clip there and bits of the muzzle and the bayonet. You can see I'm just adding in a little bit of on the top, along the top there. So yeah, just take your time with it, put a tiny bit on your brush, and let that little bit do a lot of the work. So light flesh from AK Interactive is what I'm going to be using for this guy's flesh tone. I do love my AK flesh tone paints. I'm just a big fan of them. Vallejo do offer pretty much exactly the same colour. I just can't remember the name off the top of my head, but perhaps I'll start using that in future videos. But let me know in the comments section if that's what you want to see. Now, obviously, being an 8th Army figure, he's got lots of skin to paint. He's got arms, knees, head. So yeah, just take your time. And once that's dry, we can give the model a wash of flesh wash. And I'm using a battered old brush here that's got a nice little point on it. Even though you won't be using this for nice precision work, it's good enough for the wash just to get it in all those grooves between all the fingertips without making any mess, because I like to paint the flesh last. And then once that's dried, it only takes like 20 minutes. You go over all of it again with light flesh, but leaving that washed base color in the eye sockets, around the edges of the nose, in the mouth, you know, in the ear groove, where the skin meets the clothing, between the fingers, and you can just join up the rest. So I've painted a bit on the nose, and then I've painted underneath the eye socket and gone down to the chin and gone along to the other side of the face. And here I'm just painting the hand and each individual finger. And then I'm using light flesh and highlight flesh at a 1:1 ratio, and that's going to give us a bit more of a brighter flesh tone. And we're just going to hit a little tiny bit on the nose, a little tiny bit underneath each eye socket, a little bit on the chin as well. Perhaps if you can see where the eyebrow would be, just give it a little tiny line on there. But this is just highlighting the crucial bits. So the top of the hand where the knuckles are, each finger, the thumb, perhaps a little bit of the exposed skin that would be directly facing the sun there, the knee, and some of the grooves that I can see there. And then once that's done, just hit the hair with a bit of beige brown. I think I painted this in like flat earth, and then I've just hit it with beige brown once. I'm happy with it. And then there we go, that's how he looks without going on to the spinny scene that we are so accustomed to seeing. I do like to show you on the painting table how he's come out, because I think it gives you a better understanding of what it really looks like, and it does look fantastic. So overall, I absolutely love the 8th Army figures by Esci, now taken over by Italeri. I think they are fantastic sculpts. When you really take a bit of time to appreciate them, you can see that there has been a ton of work put into them. The detail is really, really great. The only thing that really, truly lets them down is the amount of flash on them and the fact that they are soft plastic. So it makes it a real nightmare to try and clean up. And, you know, you use a Stanley knife and it ends up taking away some of the detail, which is really upsetting. But hopefully, perhaps in the future, that might change and we might get some perfectly produced models, which would just be the absolute dream. But I'd love to know what 172 figure you would like to see next on this Nostalgia Toy Soldier sort of series that I've been hot on at the minute. So do let me know in the comments section. A massive thank you goes out to my YouTube channel members and Patreons. And as always, a massive thank you goes out to my Panzer Racers. So that's Patrick, Oscar, Panzer Jim, Colin, James, Mikey, Mike, Lack of Foresight Gaming, and Eric. You guys are all champions. Thank you so much for being those aces. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it here. Don't forget to leave me a comment below, and I will catch you at the next one.